While many of the attractions at Universal Studios theme parks are based on films that proved to be box office hits, that doesn't mean the company hasn't begun to build attractions while a film was still in production. Take WaterWorld, a live seawater spectacular for example, which had begun planning and development a year before the movie it's based on was released in theaters. The movie's plot revolves around a future where the polar ice caps have melted and Earth is almost entirely submerged. A mutated mariner, played by Kevin Costner, reluctantly helps a woman and a young girl try to find dry land, fighting off starvation and outlaws on their journey. Known as the most expensive film ever made at the time, costing $172 million. It was a critical and financial disappointment, only grossing $88 million at the North American box office. While the film was still in production, Universal began discussing how to replace the Miami Vice action spectacular located at Universal Studios Hollywood, which had opened at the park in 1989. With the belief WaterWorld would become a box office hit and wanting to create a tie-in at the park, it was decided in October 1994 to create a water-based stunt show inspired by the movie. Construction on the attraction would begin in January 1995, with a target opening date set for July 28, 1995 to coincide with the film's opening. Even though the film was a box office bomb, work on the show was already so far along that Universal had no choice but to continue, as canceling or trying to re-theme the attraction would have cost millions of additional dollars. While the new show would reuse the same arena that Miami Vice did, it would be heavily reworked to fit in with the WaterWorld theme. The facility would have its existing water feature expanded, and the jungle set was replaced by a ramshackle floating atoll modeled on the one used in the film. The 40,000 square foot arena features a 23 feet deep pool filled with 1.4 million gallons of recycled water, with the waves created by a drum that moves up and down in the water. The show features over 60 pyrotechnic effects, including the performers' weapons, bullet hits, fires, and explosions. Each show features a cast of 8 trained stunt performers, with the actor and actress playing Deacon and Helen having live mics while all other voice lines have been pre-recorded. The performers pull off more than 50 stunts during the show, including a wide range of jet ski jumps, high wire work, leaps and falls into the water, and choreographed fight sequences. For the show's most well-known stunt, a 2,200-pound seaplane is launched from a 30-foot hydraulic launcher before flying through a breakaway wall, skidding across the water, and stopping 30 feet from the audience before exploding in a shower of sparks, completely free-flying with no wires guiding it. Wind sensors all around the arena tell the show control computer to abort the launch if there's any chance the plane could blow off course. Once the show is over, the plane is lifted back into position by a crane that is part of the set, with the price tag of $15 million. WaterWorld, a live seawater spectacular, would officially open at Universal Studios Hollywood on October 23, 1995. Located in the upper lot at the park, the show's story takes place after the events of the movie. Helen, having finally discovered dry land, arrives back at the atoll intending to bring her fellow crewmen back to the island. Before Helen and the crew take off for dry land, 2 smokers break in and open the main gate, allowing for more smokers to enter aboard a massive boat equipped with a Gatling gun. The smokers wipe out the crew and force Helen to perform a high jump from a guard tower she was hiding in, which collapses into the water. Deacon makes his entrance into the atoll and takes Helen hostage, demanding her to tell him the location of dry land. When Helen refuses, Deacon disposes of the last crew member by having him dropped into a vat of toxic liquid. The smokers warn of the mariner's arrival, who emerges from underwater to get into the atoll, leading to a massive fight between Helen and the mariner versus the smokers. The fight features many impressive stunts, including Helen and the mariner riding zip lines over the water and taking on smokers above the crowd, and Deacon throwing a grenade at the mariner while he's on a jet ski, who jumps over it, avoiding a massive explosion. While the 2 landlubbers defeat all of the smokers, Deacon is finally able to vanquish the mariner using a rocket launcher. Deacon once again captures Helen, and before he can escape, escape with her on a seaplane, the Mariner reappears, ready to finish the fight once and for all. During their final encounter, Deacon accidentally shoots down the seaplane, sending it crashing through a wall into the atoll. Finally able to get the upper hand on the Mariner, Deacon looks to finish the half-man, half-fish for good, but Helen shoots him with a flare, who catches on fire and jumps into the water. Deacon's flaming body lights the leaking fuel coming from a large fuel tank, forcing Helen and the Mariner to escape from the atoll on her boat. The show ends when the two escape before the tank explodes, which causes the atoll to catch on fire, along with tons of explosions. Unlike the movie when it first opened, the 16-minute stunt show opened to rave reviews from guests, quickly becoming one of the most popular attractions at Universal Studios Hollywood. The show would go on to win a Thea Award from the Themed Entertainment Association in 1996, and become one of the highest rated attractions by guests who visited the park. Wanting to capitalize on the stunt show's popularity, Universal would bring WaterWorld to Universal Studios Japan, opening with the park on March 31st, 2001, and Universal Studios Singapore, also opening with the park on March 18, 2010. Just like in Hollywood, the show has been a huge hit with guests in Japan and Singapore. The show would once again be honored by the Themed Entertainment Association in 2017, awarding it the Thea Classic Award. It would be announced on October 12, 2019, that an entire WaterWorld themed land, along with the stunt show and other related attractions, would be coming to Universal Studios Beijing, slated to open in spring 2021. WaterWorld, a live SeaWar spectacular, is the rare occurrence in which an attraction has become better received and more recognized than the movie it's based on. Featuring dramatic storytelling, large-scale special effects, and aquatic and land-based stunts, the show has set a new standard for live stunt shows. Unlike the movie, the show has been able to stand the test of time, taking guests on an unforgettable journey of imagination, adventure, and excitement, all while avoiding any reference to when Kevin Costner drank his pee in the movie. Seriously, I'm not making that up. That actually happens in the movie. No wonder why it flopped.